Breaking right now, Mayor Lori Lightfoot calls Chicago a city in mourning following the death of Chicago police officer Ella French. She was shot and killed during a traffic stop in West Englewood last night. We're also in a real-time weather alert. Some storms, which could be severe, are moving into the area. Meteorologist Tammy Sousa is tracking it all in a moment. But first, our top story. Good evening, I'm Jim Williams. A second officer is fighting for his life right now. 3 people are in custody for questioning. We have team coverage tonight. Stephen Graves has more on the officers, but we begin with Jackie Kostek with what led to the shooting. She is live at the University of Chicago Medical Center, where the second officer is now. Jackie.
Jim, that second officer remains in serious condition tonight. Police say that shooting stemmed from a traffic stop and ended in tragedy.
Despite the shock, grief, pain, and sorrow we feel this morning, our brothers and sisters in blue put this uniform on each and every day.
CPD officers in mourning after 29-year-old Ella French was shot and killed in the line of duty on Saturday night. A second officer remains in serious condition. Superintendent David Brown says 3 officers made a traffic stop near 63rd and Bell around 9 p.m. Police say 2 men and a woman were inside the car. CBS 2 has learned at the time of the shooting, 1 officer was standing near the driver's side door and the other officer near the passenger side. Sources tell CBS 2 the male passenger shot both officers from the backseat of the car. Brown says the officers shot back, wounding the shooter. Surveillance video from a nearby home shows an officer get out of his car and walk near the fence. Within 15 seconds, a flurry of officers arrive. About a minute later, several officers take off down the sidewalk. Shortly after, an ambulance pulls up, a stretcher is brought to the fence, and someone appears to be loaded onto the ambulance. When asked why the officers initiated the stop, Superintendent Brown said they will rely on suspect interviews.
What we believe is the interviews with the offenders will reveal from their statements to us all of that information. So we're going to withhold us guessing at why the stop happened and really listen for what the offenders are saying, since they're being interviewed now.
Brown said the suspected shooter was charged with robbery in 2019 and served probation. But Brown said none of the 3 people inside the car had extensive criminal backgrounds. Brown says as of this morning, COPA had not begun its official investigation into the shooting, so we do not yet have a timeline into when we may see that officer-worn body footage. At the University of Chicago tonight, Jackie Kostek, CBS 2 News.
Jackie, thank you. And now let's get to CBS 2's Stephen Graves, who has the latest on these officers. Stephen, the mayor called for a day of mourning.
Jim, that's right. It's been a tough day for a lot of people. The name of that officer, the male one, who is in critical condition right now, has not been officially released. But just hours ago, police telling us the name of Officer Ella French, after earlier Superintendent Brown said her family was uncomfortable with it. But as you can see, things are really changing minute by minute. Meanwhile, Mayor Lori Lightfoot making an order of honor today.
I am here as mayor to declare today an official day of mourning for our city. All city buildings will have flags at half-staff, and I call upon all other private buildings to do the same.
And this is the picture of Officer French sent to me from Chicago Police. The Cook County medical examiner today saying she died of a gunshot wound to the head. The 29-year-old and her partner served on the community safety team, a group of about 300 officers Superintendent Brown formed to respond to crime and connect with faith leaders and organizations. French was only on the force for 3.5 years. The male officer, who remains critical, served 6 years. Right now, the mayor and superintendent asking everyone to keep these officers' families in their prayers, and the whole police force.
Risking their lives every day for our safety and security. That reality became very real last night in an emergency room, amongst tears and fears.
And back out here, you can see those flags outside of headquarters are at half-staff. Officer French is the 5th female officer to die in the line of duty in CPD's history. She is the first in 20 years. Reporting outside of CPD headquarters, Stephen Graves, CBS 2 News. Jim.
Stephen, thank you. Keeping up with breaking news anytime with our CBS News app. Search CBS Chicago wherever you get your apps to download it for free.